I make a podcast episode every single day for 365 days. You will be hated for speaking the truth.
You definitely have like an X-ray goggles on, where you can see someone's aura.
A house divided against itself shall not stand. Matthew chapter 12, verse 25.
If you want to make something of yourself, forget your political beliefs.
Because different believers experience God in different ways, different non-believers need different explanations to see God as real. Things that make you angry suck you in.
Satan's plan fails, right? And God's plan prevails.
So I'm going to be completely honest, I'm over here recording this episode and I didn't really know what to talk about today for today's episode of the podcast. So I'm going to kind of keep it simple, keep it short, keep it sweet for you guys today. It's just about mindset, positive mental attitude. PMA is what I like to call it. Maybe this is a concept that other people talk about, but my personal motto is PMA, positive mental attitude. I'm just going to speak on a little experience that I've dealt with. So I'm dealing with things in my life, right? I'm trying to find a job. I'm trying to move forward in my life, trying to figure out where I'm going to go going forward. I was in a moment last couple of weeks, and again, you might have seen it in some of the content I was posting last couple of weeks, that I was still trying to find my way. I was still trying to figure out where I'm going. And as a result, I would make podcast episodes talking about like confidence, talking about like comparison, talking about like thinking and figuring out obviously all the spiritual things and my faith and all of that type of stuff as well. But I'm trying to still trying to figure out where I'm meant to go, where God wants me to go. But I'm starting to find a little bit more structure in that. And there were a couple of things, I don't want to get too deep into it, I don't want to be too specific with it, but there were a couple of things that happened that I was out here and I was kind of like thinking in a negative light, and then I had to pull myself back. I was like, why would this be a negative thing, right? Like I'm finding a job, hopefully I'm going to start a job really soon, and a lot of it was in a very negative light for a little while in my mind. I'm like, why does it have to be negative? Why can't I look at the good of it, the many positive aspects of wherever I'm going moving forward? And why can't I look at that and like be hyped, be excited for this new opportunity, thank God for this new opportunity, and be ready to go rather than kind of pessimistic and negative and all this type of stuff? Like, why am I even letting those thoughts enter into my mind for a second? So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. And I'm just going to be saying a little bit on positivity, on your mindset. Two people can go through the exact same situation, and one has an amazing time and the other doesn't have a good time at all. Why? It's because of their mindset that they had going into it. I can give it a great example was my door-to-door time. There were people in door-to-door sales that were great. Like, they were hyped. They loved every second of that job, and they embraced it and embodied the position completely and fully. So going out and knocking on doors, they were perfectly fine with it, and they had such an amazing time, and that's why they've been able to endure and stay in that area, that sector for as long as they have. Like, they've been doing it for years, right? A lot of the people I worked with. Whereas for me, I never enjoyed it. It was always a negative thing. It was always like I had to push myself so far to make it happen. When I would be motivated and when I would feel like I'd be feeling positive, like I'd be doing well, but I would only have I'd feel positive only a couple of days. Like, sometimes I'd have a great day where I'd made a lot of sales, but I felt like crap, and I was like, man, that was terrible, right? Even if I made the sales and I made the money and I hit the numbers and all that stuff, felt terrible. And I only had like a couple of days where I was really like, engaged in it. I was looking at it from the right lens, and I was able to perform, and I was able to do it and make it happen. But as a result, me thinking about all these negative things for so long caused me to say, all right, it's worth it. It's more worth it to just end it here, quit, leave, move on to other things in my life. But there were other people there that were looking, and they were doing the exact same thing, and they were also so positive about it, and they were so optimistic about their futures that they were able to ride the wave and keep going for years and years. And then I also saw people around me get promoted, and their hard work finally paying off as they got promoted to a bigger role, and they are on the pathway to opening up their own branch and starting their own company with door-to-door sales, and it's good for them, right? But I look back on that experience, I look back on the things I'm currently dealing with, and I'm like, Why would you even let those negative thoughts enter into your mind for even a second? There's so many things you can like. You can look at any situation. You can take all the bad things and you can let it cause you to fail, and it will. That's what the devil wants. He wants to pollute your mind with the negatives, with all the things that could go wrong, all the fears, all of these things to stop you from going and pursuing that thing that is greater, that thing that will in the end fill you up and fulfill you and help you live a great life. You can look at all the negative things, but at the same time, there are also so many positive things. I feel like humans definitely have a tendency towards the negative because it's like survival instinct, right? We're trying to figure out, we're trying to maximize like our opportunity, and we don't want to take risks because we don't want to survive. We just want to survive, but not we don't like to not just survive but thrive. You shouldn't be looking at all of those negative things, the noise that can be inside your head. You should look towards all of the positive aspects, the reasons why, like a deeper reason as to why you're doing this, as to why you are living this life. And I think there's something to be said about that. Just like the way you think about a certain situation. I think always you'll tend to the negatives, but if you can cut that out the source and allow yourself to shift your mindset into what is positive, what can be so good about whatever thing you're entering into, whatever change you're making in your life, it will allow that change to be easier to make, and it will allow you to stick with it for longer. There is always an element of difficulty and always an element of grit and grinding your teeth and having to get through things, through hard moments. You won't have a good day every single day. That's just life, right? But the more you can be confident about a certain thing, the more you can look at the good things of that certain thing and rejoice rather than sitting in fear and in misery about a certain thing. If you enjoy the work that you do, you're going to keep going and you're going to put even more effort into it, right? Whereas if you don't enjoy it, you're just counting down the days till you finally break and you finally quit. You have to find something you like doing. Find something that you enjoy doing. Find something that really fills you up and that you can look at and take all the positives, and the positives completely overwhelm all the negatives, and that will allow you to take the right steps to moving forward in your life. So there's something to be said to that. That is really the point of this episode. It's a much shorter episode, but yes, positive mental attitude in every situation. In every situation, you can choose to look at the good things or you can look at the bad things. The bad things will hinder you. It will cause you to put less effort in. It will cause you to not enjoy what you're doing. And it will lead you to quitting, right? It will lead you to being that guy that doesn't see it through. And you want to be the person that sees it through to its end. So instead of looking at all the negative things, look at the positive things. I look back at my door-to-door sales and I'm like, would I have kept going if I had decided to look at things from a positive light rather than just being miserable the whole time? Maybe. But I also think at the same time, like, I think it was a good experience, but at the same time, I didn't want to do it long term anyway. I didn't want to go into door to door to begin with, but then I kind of delegated and decided to. That's a whole other thing, right? It was kind of like I kind of ended up in it, really. And like, I look at it as like, is my potential ruined because I let negativity enter into my mind? Maybe. When it comes to actually the output in the field, perhaps. Like, I still did super well, but maybe I could have done more, right? Had I continued with that positive mindset instead of always thinking about all the bad, looking at the good. So I'm just out here contemplating these things, but I think it is absolutely important that in any situation in life, look towards the good, the positive, the things that can keep you optimistic. Because that is how you will truly find that fire. That's how you will find that drive, that thing that gives you a higher purpose, a higher meaning in your life, is to look at the positives. Look at what is such a good opportunity, what is going to benefit you in the long run. Picture yourself in years from now and what this decision you're going to make, what this thing you're dealing with, what you're going through, how that's going to help you in the long run. Life's going to be hard, and that's part of life, but instead of leaning into the pessimism, right, the depression, that's how depression and anxiety exist, because you're so just your thoughts are all put towards the bad and the negative, and it's just so toxic, and it leads you to just falling deeper and deeper into these things. That's why depression and anxiety are so high among Gen Z, and it's just increasing in this world in modern day. You need to look towards the good, and there is a lot of good. You have to think a little bit more and find it, because again, we tend to the negative. You have to think a little bit more and a little bit more consciously to find that positivity, but it's out there. So seek the positive mental attitude throughout everything, and you will find that will help you, and that will be, if that is your identity, that is your mindset going into any pursuit, anything that you're dealing with in your life, you will do it better, you will do a better job, and you will help the people around you as well. And you will feel better within yourself as well in what you're doing, and you will enjoy your work more, and you will enjoy what you do in your life even more every day. So that is all I got to say. Again, a quicker episode today, just kind of beating the drum here on positive mindset. A lot of people need it. A lot of people kind of fall into negativity, and I'm guilty of it at times as well, of course. And self-doubt and negative self-talk and looking at situations and taking all the negative aspects from it. When in reality, there are so many positives that you need to find, but they're out there. And if you can truly rationalize the positives and look to the positives and be optimistic rather than pessimistic, be ambitious rather than depressed, be confident rather than anxious, you will be able to do many amazing things. You will be able to truly run through walls in your life. So look at the positive. Be positively minded, optimistic in your life, and you'll do many great things. You will defeat any and all negative powers and evil influences in your life to truly achieve many amazing things. So that's all I got for today. Thank you for watching. As always, I appreciate you if you're still here watching this episode of the 365-Day Podcast. I make an episode every day for a whole year. So like the video, subscribe on YouTube if you enjoyed, and follow the show on Spotify and TikTok as well, where I post short clips over there on TikTok as well. Would appreciate the support there. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. As always, I'll see you tomorrow for the next episode of the 365 Podcast.